All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Unstoppable Conversations, where we aim to create conversational adventures through fun, exciting, interesting, challenging, yet meaningful questions about a whole variety of different topics, all the while playing a game. In case you don't know, my name is Andre. I am energetic, I'm passionate, I'm curious, and I really love to learn and grow and create meaningful connections with a lot of people. I'm aware of many hats. I'm a mindset coach, a teacher, a PowerPoint creator, an author, a husband. Joining me today is Charlotte Rowe. Charlotte, hi.
Hi, Andre.
Thank you so
How are you
much for
doing today?
joining me here today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah, you're
It's a
welcome. I'm
pleasure.
really excited for this conversation. I've got a few really cool and interesting questions. So yeah, are you ready to start?
Yeah, can't
Awesome.
wait.
Yeah, let me quickly share my screen and let me know when it's live on your side. There you go.
Oh,
Is it there?
yes, it's there.
Awesome. Okay. So first up, you'll notice that I didn't introduce you, and that's because I would like you to introduce yourself. I want to know like how you see yourself, and so I'm just gonna put this question out there. Who are you? I guess that's the question. Is who are you? On the right hand side, there's like a bar for a timer. I think you got like 45 seconds to just tell everybody who you are. Yeah. So, are you ready?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, Charlotte Rowe. Who are you?
Okay, so I'm a young 23-year-old. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in Christ. I am a national of Jamaica. I study here in China abroad. I study Chinese language. I enjoy studying it. I enjoy communications. I enjoy international relations, things like that. I also enjoy having conversations with people. So this is a great opportunity for me to just chat with you and
Mm,
share myself with others. So yeah, that's me basically.
awesome. Wow. I think you're the first person who's done it within the time limit. Most of the time, people take way too long. Yeah, which is
Maybe I'm not as interesting.
that's definitely not it. I think I like to put people in this kind of situation because sometimes it's really tough to know like or to express like who you are quickly.
It
Basically,
is.
it's really tough.
Yes, it is.
Um, oh, my galleries. It's funny now. There you go. Yeah. So for people who don't know, I'm in Beijing and you're in Beijing. We're both in the same city
Yeah.
together. You said that you're studying Chinese, right?
Yes.
Mm.
That's my
How,
major.
how far along are you and like what do you find is the most interesting part of studying it?
So I'm in my final year. So I graduate this summer.
Okay.
The most interesting part is that I feel like I've learned a lot, but I still have a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
Chinese
the
is
yeah,
a monster of a language, basically.
yes, yes, that's yeah. So sometimes, like just the other day, I was going shopping and I heard this lady talking to her son, and I absolutely did not understand what she was saying, and she was speaking Mandarin Chinese. I'm like, okay, you just put me 3 years back. It's like don't understand what she said.
Yeah. Oh man, was
Yeah.
it the accent or like the dialect or yeah?
I think so. Yeah, she's like, I think she's a Beijing person, so Beijing Ren. So she has that heavy Aryans. She put all the Aryans on things, and
Yeah,
I don't know. She was really fast though, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what she's
yeah.
saying.
That kind of like that arhua, like it really throws you
Yeah,
off a lot.
yeah.
Um, all the words change. When I moved from Tianjin to Beijing, in Tianjin they don't speak like that. They just normal, if I can put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah,
And
yeah.
all of the words I knew, they just changed completely because of the arhua.
Aryan.
Crazy.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about
Interesting.
like taxi drivers and YMI guys? Do you understand them?
Oh, so those, so that's one of the markers of how I've improved because when I just got here and probably a few months ago, say a year or so, I did not understand them. There's sometimes I'm like, what did you say? Where are you? Like, what? And now perfectly, just the other day I took a taxi and it happened to me a couple of times. The taxi driver was like, were you the one who picked up the phone? I'm like, yeah. He's like, wow, you sound like a Chinese person. I was looking for a Chinese to come into this car. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, thank
That's
you.
amazing. That's a big
Yeah,
compliment. Yeah, that's a really big compliment.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I understand those guys. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Yeah, perfectly fine.
I think sometimes the wind gets you as well because they phone you sometimes while they're on their bike and then they're
Ah,
like speaking and the wind's blowing and they're going really fast and
yeah.
yeah,
Neither why my dollar.
yeah. So what is your plan for like for after your final year now?
So I'm currently in the process of searching for jobs, and I realized that most of the jobs that I've been searching for are on the lines of communications because, as I said, I like that line of work. Well, you should know that initially, coming to China on a scholarship, I did not intend to pursue Chinese language. It was supposed to be international relations. And
Okay.
so that changed due to COVID and everything.
Mm,
And so I opted to choose the next best thing was to study the language. And so I opted for that. But I still had the passion for communications and international relations. And so I've still been doing work, reading on my own,
mm,
and so most of the jobs I've been applying to, hopefully I get through to any of them. It's
yeah,
like mostly social media marketing and communications assistants for global companies.
yeah.
Yeah.
You still want to stay in China, but yeah, work for a global company, is that right?
I'm not sure because as I see it, if I'm to stay in China right now, I'd have to um, pursue a master's or be an English teacher.
Oh,
Those are the two options I see for myself here. And I think I want some work experience before I do any furthering of my education.
yeah. Are you are you looking for a job then in Jamaica or just all over the world?
All over, actually. I've applied for an internship also in Beijing, but I'm like, that's
Uh,
quite competitive, so I'm not banking on it at all.
yeah, China is incredibly competitive. I mean,
Yes.
like I'm teaching kids 4-year-old how to write sentences, and I certainly could not write cat at that age. I don't even think I could read at 4 years old, to be honest. Not even sure if that's a good benchmark or not. But yeah, China is.
Are they doing that type of work? I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. 4-year-old? No, no, no.
Listen,
Wow.
my like the kids I teach, let's say they're 4 to 6 years old, it goes from like, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. May I help you? To like by the end of my level, which is too difficult for them, but things are like some of the sentences are like, a tornado is a funnel-shaped strong wind. And in a way, in a way, that's not even the most great. The most difficult one I would say is the average depth of the ocean usually varies between 12, I think it's like 5,000 to 12,500 feet, something like that.
For 6-year-olds. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
but I think it's
Wow.
it's a lot of memorization. I don't believe it's straight up like they can learn this word. Like if you took the same words and put them in different places,
In different.
uh,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not sure. Yeah, but I mean, you'll be more knowledgeable on this than I am. But correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. To learn Chinese, it's a lot of it is just memorizing what the characters look like, isn't it?
So coming here, it was a shocker to see how the education system was, and that shocked most of my friends who are from the West, and even those who are from Europe and other countries. They're like, why do I like? We're not necessarily we're grasping the concept over time, but that's not the aim. The aim is to see the thing, memorize. It's all about that's what our teachers like say, memorize what you do. You don't necessarily have to just get it, just memorize. I'm like,
Mm,
okay, that's most of what the system here teaches is in education. So I'm like, okay,
yeah.
so I've learned it a bit to just memorize, memorize.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
challenging sometimes to get used to, but
yeah,
that's the way it
yeah,
is. All right, should we let me jump into the next question.
yeah.
Otherwise we're gonna speak forever again. All right. So before we go on to like you choosing your own questions and things, I want to do a lightning round. So I'm just
Wow.
gonna give you like basically two choices, a this or a that. And yeah, I just want you to choose quickly, so because it's a lightning round, and then we can chat
Yeah,
about them afterwards.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, let me get into it. There you go. Fancy animation.
Oh,
Okay,
this is cool.
first one. Series or movies?
Series,
Music or reading?
music,
There's some tough choices here. Summer or winter?
summer,
Mm. Fiction or nonfiction?
nonfiction,
City or countryside?
countryside,
Mm.
no doubt.
Nice. Congratulations! You passed the lightning round. There were no right
Oh,
or
this
wrong
is
answers. Yeah. So
yeah,
actually, a little bit of backstory just about this lightning round.
yeah.
Before like starting this podcast, I didn't know I wasn't capable of doing this kind of animation because this screen was
Hmm.
actually blank, like before we started,
Hmm.
and based on the
Yeah,
options you chose, it like filled them in. So that was kind of
yeah.
a skill that I learned just especially for this podcast. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
So you
No,
had you had a tough time with music and reading, didn't you?
yeah, actually, because both give me like a deeper sense of just have me to think a lot. And so I'm like, I don't know which one to choose. So when I listen to music, my friends would tell you, I'd play one song
Yeah.
over and over and over and over. It's like getting a deeper meaning from it than just the words there.
Okay.
And that's the thing also with reading. I'd read something, I'd go back to it, I'd spend a lot of time. My friends would say that I read quite slowly because I like to just sit with something, like just mull it over. So if this wasn't the lighting round, I'd just say both. I couldn't choose. But recently it has been music.
Yeah.
Yeah, has been music. Yeah.
Curse of the lightning round, making you choose. Yeah, for
Excuse me.
me, for me, it's an easy question. I enjoy reading a
Yeah.
lot more.
Yeah.
I will say because I don't put music on for myself generally. I either
Oh,
listen
really?
to videos or listen to like podcasts, like we spoke about that recently, some podcasts.
Shame on you, Andre.
Yeah, it's just my wife loves music, so she'll put it on for us and I'll listen to what she listens to. And I actually love
Uh-huh.
listening to music. I don't know, there's a lot of other things above music on my list of things to do
Okay,
when I'm
okay,
bored. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Some of them probably not as great as listening to music. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta play my music when I'm taking a shower, when I'm working out. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I think I'm different to a lot of people in that way. What about
Mhm.
summer? So you chose summer. You even prefer the Beijing summer over the Beijing winter.
No, that's I can't choose any of the evils there. Like I can't choose
Yeah.
any of the evils. Beijing's winter is horrible because of the wind. The
Yeah.
summer is just piercing. I'm from an island. Okay, we don't have winter there. And when I tell you that Beijing's summer is unbearable, it is. I had to leave this summer to go to Changchun because I was dying. I was feeling horrible. Feels as if the sun was just piercing through my skin. I was like, this is too much. I
That's
gotta leave.
that's a really interesting take. Yeah, you
Yeah,
grew up on an island, yet the summer life in a city is too much for you.
yeah.
For
It's
me, it's
horrible.
just the stickiness. I mean, I
Yeah.
grew up on the coast, so it is like it was a little bit humid there, but it's
Hmm.
nothing compared to summer here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
say I'm more of a summer person in general, but
Yeah.
definitely in Beijing, I'm a winter person. Um,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
okay.
even a full because like summer when it gets too hot, it's just too hot. Winter when it gets too cold, at least there's a chance of snow, which is cool. But summer there's no summer snow or summer anything that's like awesome
I
or
mean,
wow.
we just had a short period of snow the other day, and all
Yeah.
I've been just like frostbite. It's just too windy and like it's unbearable.
Yeah. I can
Yeah,
I can guess that you chose a countryside instead of city just because of where you grew up. It seems like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's much more like city life is very busy and fast paced, and countryside life or life not in the city is like a bit more slower
Well,
paced.
well, actually, I'm from the city in Jamaica, but coming to Beijing, I was like, wow, this is nothing compared to the city in
Mm,
Jamaica. Like, this is so fast. Like, this
true.
is so fast paced. I had to even learn their speed here. Walking to the subway, I'm like rushing, coming out. So like, there's no reason for me to rush. Why am I following
Yeah,
this level of speed? Like, yeah. So I definitely say the countryside. Yeah,
you do get quite swept up in it. I think I walk
yeah,
like twice as fast as I did in South Africa, to be honest. Just just because of being in the big city. Maybe I should change the question to big city versus country life or something like
yeah,
that.
probably.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are there any lightning round questions you would have wanted to see or anything like that? Because I'm trying to make this game better the whole time. And
Okay. Sports, dancing, or something like that.
sports versus something else.
Yeah,
Hmm,
yeah,
sports versus something. When I Googled it when I was preparing for this kind of game, I Googled and I got results of like 250 this or that questions, and it just
oh,
overwhelmed me. I just ended up just thinking of my own because it was too much.
coffee, tea.
Yeah, coffee tea, coffee tea. But I want to throw some doozies in there, just to throw people off, like the music and the reading one. People normally love both, but I want to
Yeah,
make them choose. I want to make them choose.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go to the next question because we've actually got a whole lot of them. Um,
Okay,
okay. Oh, the next one, you actually get to choose a category. So there are the three kind of big boxes or rectangles.
okay.
Those are three different categories that we'll go through first, and the little one we'll leave to last. So, yeah, choose a category, and we'll go through the questions in that one. We'll leave it a mystery.
Okay, what are the categories?
It's a secret. It's for you to find out later.
Uh, education. I mean, that's what you mean, or like just choose one of the.
Just choose one of the boxes. Yeah, choose one of the boxes.
Okay, the top right, my right, or
Wait, is it this
okay.
one?
No, the other one.
Oh, it's mine right
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
I
Okay.
should number these. Maybe I'll write numbers. All right, we'll go to this
Okay.
one, and let's reveal the category. Ooh, my
Little
favorite. A
coach.
little coachy. So as you might know, I'm a mindset coach. I like to throw in a few like coaching type questions in every now and then, just to see
Yeah.
how people react. So it's not like, yeah, they just cover kind of similar things to what I would talk about maybe in a coaching session. Just
Yeah.
yeah, just to throw a spanner in the works. So the first one, if you could magically get anything you wanted in the next 12 to 24 months, what would your life look like?
Wow.
Just
Oh
anything.
wow. If I could magically get anything you wanted in the next 12 to, and that would only be for that period, or
Yeah,
uh,
like if you had to get a few wishes for the next year or two that you hope would come true, what would you wish for? What would you want?
okay, I'm not too fancy, but I'd like to get a job at the UN.
Hmm.
That would be nice for me. A pretty decent communications job. That would be nice. Can I just say another?
Yeah, choose as many as you want. This is your life. Yeah, go big.
Okay. 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 I'd like to be better at the stock market, just like trading and stuff like that. That yeah, I'd like to do that. And
Where would you like to live?
just this last oh
Yeah, if you could live.
oh oh I never really put much thought into that, but these days I've been thinking a lot about these three countries. It's Australia, actually South Africa, and England.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Do you
these
does
three
the UN
countries.
have like jobs or positions in those countries?
They do. They do. Been doing a lot of work in South Africa. Yeah, the positions that I've seen. Yeah, yeah, they do. But it wasn't necessarily because of the UN why I chose these countries.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's cool. Anything else you'd want in the next like 2 years, maybe?
Well, putting it out there. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I think I don't want to scare you, but I think that might have been the easiest of the questions. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. For me at least, because I've
Okay.
asked it so many times, which means I've thought about it a lot. But not a lot of people like think about it, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
this was quite scary. Yeah, I don't know. Thinking about it and answering it was quite scary.
and to me, it's gotten to the point where I'm excited because yeah, I've listened to other people's responses a lot too, and it kind of gives me ideas as well for what I think about.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, when you think about these things, are these some of the goals you've set for yourself so that it was just like just came off the tip of your tongue to just say these answers, or you knew them already?
Normally, yeah, normally it helps to like help you to find what your goals could be because I mean we're all told like growing up we need to have goals and goals this, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's like sometimes quite difficult to think of well what could my goal be, and I find it helps for me to first like think about if I could have anything, what would I
yeah,
want, and then like
yeah,
to refine it from there to be more realistic or specific or yeah that's how it helps me basically. I didn't know the
yeah,
answer straight away the first time I got the question.
yeah,
Um, but it was certainly cool. Like every time I ask it, depending on where I am in my life, I kind of think of something different, which is nice. For me,
Do you
for
remember what the
yeah,
sorry? Do you remember what the last person said? Like one of the things. I'm curious.
it all kind of meshed together. One person, I think the last person, they were also a student, uh,
Yeah.
and they were struggling with their studies, and basically their kind of wish was just uh, to pass their degree, basically. They wanted to pass their
Okay.
degree and go into, I can't remember what field it was, but they wanted to pass their degree and land a job in
Okay.
their kind of field of study.
Okay. Okay.
And I
Okay.
think they wanted to be single, which is a weird one. You don't normally get it. Uh, yeah, I'm assuming because I didn't like speak to this person often, I didn't go through coaching sessions with them in the end, but
Okay.
uh, what I gathered is they were kind of taking a break from relationships. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm. That's cool.
Interesting.
All right, the next one.
Yeah.
Quickly click
Yeah.
on. Ooh, who's had a significant impact on your life, and what qualities in that person or in others like them do you admire?
Okay. Um. Who? One. So I have to choose one person. Okay.
There are no rules in this game. You can choose as many as you want.
Okay. Okay. So I have about three. So this one high school teacher,
Mhm.
Mrs. Francis, I can't forget her. We do even chat now. She is like her heart and soul is about encouraging and motivating people. And since I was in high school, she was always that person for me. I didn't know that I needed it until I graduated and saw the impact of her words. I remember one particular time she was asking in school. I mean, she was our sociology teacher, and she would ask us questions about her goals and stuff like that. Many teachers wouldn't. And I said just once, I'd want to be a international hockey player, field hockey player. And she's like, she didn't laugh or scoff and be like, what? She's like, yeah, what are your plans to get there? And she was like serious about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, she really, yeah, she's up to something here. And so even since then, we keep a good contact, and she's been like following up on me and my goals and stuff. And she's also a coach too. She's an author and a coach, and she loves to help young people to develop and stuff. So that one person has motivated me to help others and to go after my goals.
Yeah.
This other person is, I'd call him a mentor, friend, and former crush.
That's a weird
Yeah, so
combination.
yes, yeah, when I was younger, I had a crush on him. Gabe, yeah, he's a friend of mine. This guy is the epitome of altruism. He gives a lot, and not just monetarily and with gifts. He likes to, well, particularly he helps young men from our community to grow and to develop into something meaningful, someone meaningful. And I admire that about him. He is just relentless about it, going, uh, seeking means and ways to help them to improve. And I just look at that from afar and be like, okay, that is something I want to do in the future, or just help people to get there. And he's very, he's quite kind and, yeah, caring.
That's amazing.
um the third person, so I'm mixed with, so I'll say this last person, her name is Mrs. Brown. I hope she's not watching. This is so crazy.
Did you
Yeah.
tell her about this?
um no.
Maybe she can tell
Yeah,
you later.
yeah, maybe I should. Her name is Mrs. Brown. So she is my, um I'd say, spiritual leader in a sense. I admire her level of commitment to her faith, and she has been through a lot, and I just admire her resilience and trust and faith in God. I just, it's amazing. So yeah, these three people, yeah, they have changed how I think about things on different levels, spiritually, growth wise, educationally. Yeah, these three people.
That's incredible. It sounds really like they're amazing people who really care about
Yeah,
other people. Um,
yeah, yeah.
it seems like, yeah, that's really amazing. I'm even like I feel inspired just hearing that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
should
that,
definitely
yeah.
tell all of them
Miss Brown.
this
Yeah,
because I think it would be great for them even to see like, you're here, you've almost finished your studies, like you're looking for jobs at the UN. Like I think they'll be
yeah,
incredibly.
yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. All right, let me find the next question. Ooh, I love this one too. If you could hire a coach for free right now, what would you ask him or her to help you with?
Okay, this is great that you are the person that's right in front of me. A mindset coach. I
Yeah, but
definitely ask.
I'm just asking as like a co-host friend here.
Okay, I'd ask him or her to help me with consistency. I'd say consistency. I've started some things and did not finish, and that has been a thing for me. Even the new year gets me anxious sometimes because I have goals, and sometimes I like relentlessly go after them, and sometimes I can stop here. It's not, yeah, yeah. So I just like some help. Like, how can I be more consistent? Just stick it out. Yeah,
And focused.
that's
Do you find that you put too much on your plate sometimes?
I definitely do.
Me too. I'm also guilty of that. I've got a lot on my plate, but it's all because I put it there. Like it's nobody else's
Yeah,
fault.
I think I do. I think I put too much that I can handle at one time.
Yeah.
So what I've done recently is that has helped me even for the day, the tasks for the day is just one thing. Okay, I'm gonna read this chapter. That's it. I have the plan to read 3 chapters, but I
Yeah.
just put one. Just read a chapter. And when I get it done, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling good. Read the second chapter. I just write that down after I'm finished the third the first chapter. Things like that. So that has helped me to be like, okay, just focus on one thing. You're only seeing one thing in front of you. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just having them all, oh, read 3 chapters. Yeah.
That's an awesome method. Yeah. It reminds me of a book that's inspired me a lot, like um in the last few months, I would say. It's called Tiny Habits. It's written by BJ Fogg. And what you're saying now is one of the things that he mentioned. Is like you try to take your habit or your goal and you make it as small and as tiny as possible,
Yeah.
which means like there's no way you can't achieve it, right? Um,
Yeah.
so in your case, it would be like just reading one chapter instead of three. And most of the time, I'm sure you would have experienced this. Most of the time, once you've done the little part of the big habit, you're kind of motivated to do the rest as well.
Yep.
That
Yep.
definitely
Yep.
happens to me.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
is reminds me of somebody else as well. They were working and they also wanted to study after work, but they would kind of have the intention of studying for like 2 hours after work each day before going home. And yeah, it's one of the things I did was help them to like first let's just aim for logging onto your computer or like opening your textbooks, and from there
Yeah.
you can kind of build on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
That's
talking
good.
about
That's good.
habits actually because habits are such a it's like a buzzword, but not a lot of people actually know how to create good habits and stick to them and follow
Mhm.
through, like to be
Yeah.
consistent basically with their habits.
Yeah.
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 Let me find
Good stuff.
the game again. Yeah. Oh,
Tiny habits.
another thing that that really helps if you've got like lots of goals or things you want to accomplish, what you can do is
Yeah.
kind of like make a list of everything that you could do that would help you to kind of achieve that goal. So like as
Mm.
realistic or small or big or crazy as possible. And then you go through the list and you kind of put a star next to each one that you think is like really easy to do. So
Okay.
yeah, like for you, let's say like reading one page or one chapter, it's easier to do than reading a whole textbook in a day or something like that. So you go
Right.
through the list and you put like a star next to each one that you think is easy. And then you go through the list again the second time and you put a circle next to the ones that the behaviors that you think will be really effective, like in helping you to reach your goal. Like reading a page a day is easy from your textbook, but
Yeah.
not necessarily effective in helping you study the whole book. You
Right.
just put
Right.
a
Right.
circle next to the effective ones. And most of the time, you'll have a few that kind of overlap. They're both easy and effective, and those are
Mm-hmm.
the ones that you should focus on, and they'll help you to
Okay.
be consistent. Yes, it's
Sounds like a
another thing
plan.
that I learned from the Tiny Habits book. So
Tiny habits. Yeah.
after the buy book, you can buy that book. Okay.
Definitely. That's my plan for the end of the month. I told you I will not take it on until I finish the book
Yeah,
that I'm currently on, a
yeah,
step at a time.
a step at a time. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Next question. Ooh, what's the one question or desire or problem that's driving your life right now? So a lot of people have like this question in their head that they wake up thinking each day and they're just like trying to find the answer. Do you have any question like that that's like been on your mind lately?
Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm sorry if this is too much, but
No,
if this one question is if everything is predestined, if my future is already set out before I was born, if everyone's path was already made. And that question arose some time ago. I was talking to a friend and she mentioned it, and it's like, I'm like, do you really believe that? And she's like, there's the possibility that you're going this direction because your future self is that person, so that's why you're going in this direction. I'm like, really? So it has just been in my mind these days. Is everything predestined? Is everything already set? Am I just going based off something already set?
yeah.
Yeah, so
That's a big one. That's a big one. Wow. Wow.
yeah,
So it's like a kind of a free will kind of question of free will or
yeah,
predetermined.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what are you leaning towards? Like what's your perspective
I
on?
think not. I think not. We've been given a choice. I think not. I think you choose every day the path that you want to take. And that makes that too puts power in your hands. I think the former is something would be like, okay, because my future is already set, whatever is going to happen is already going to happen. So I have no choice.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think you have a lot to do with what's going to happen. You have a part to play in this. So yeah. But that is, I'm still wrestling with it. I'm still wrestling, but I do believe your actions. Why I say that? Because I've seen where I have not wanted to do something and I force myself to get it done. I'm like, I don't think that that was the predestined part of me be like, oh, you're gonna force yourself to do it. No, it was a battle. It was something beyond me. It's like, okay, you gotta get it done. And that was my choice to do it. And I've seen the results or the rewards of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree with you there. I think choice is a big word. A lot of people
yeah,
forget that there's choice, that you can choose. And sometimes we kind of breeze through the choice, not even knowing that we had the power to choose. I definitely agree with you there, 100%.
yeah. But
Because
yeah, it's a question.
if you don't choose, I think if you don't choose, there is kind of a predestined path. Like if you didn't choose to wake up with energy and motivation, if you didn't choose to study, like if you just kind of let it happen, there is a path, but the path seems like it would go kind of downhill pretty quickly and pretty horribly. Um,
You're actually choosing.
yeah. You are choosing, yeah.
Yeah.
So by not choosing, you're choosing. Is that what you're saying?
You're still choosing anyways, not doing anything. You're still choosing not to do something because you're waiting on whatever is coming, but you not putting in any work at all is still putting in the work to say, I'm not doing something towards this end, but me not doing something towards this end means that it's going there.
Yeah,
So,
makes a lot of
yeah.
sense. But what about the people that say, sure, you're choosing, but your choices have already been decided for you? Like, uh, kind of like, I know what you're going to choose. What about those people
Yeah.
that say that? What do you?
Yeah, that's yeah, that's what she was getting at. I'm like, okay. But I it's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
fine
That's where
line
the
because is that even worth thinking about? Because it feels like you're just going to go down a rabbit hole that might not matter.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I did not expect that answer, but I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's a lovely question.
Yeah.
Let's do one. I think we've got a few more. Let's do one more here, and then we can maybe jump to another topic, or we can stay here if you want. It's yeah,
I like these. I like these. We can go on though. Yeah, I like these questions.
I like it too. Yeah.
Pretty good.
What are your favorite self-love behaviors or tips?
Mm. Okay. Oh, so I'm not too fancy or with that, but this might be even weird to anyone listening. But one measure of my self love, measure of self care is I would take a pan, warm some water, soak my feet, whether just soak them or just like scrub them or clean them or just have them to soak. That's just that's just it. I'm like, okay, this is nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's relaxing, actually. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite simple, but yeah, when I do it, I'm like, okay, this is me. This is my time. I'm just zoned out.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Because
Yeah.
to do that, you kind of have to put in the effort for yourself. You have to get the pan, you have to warm the water. Like you're actually consciously choosing to put effort into taking care of
Yeah.
yourself. I can see
Yeah.
how it works. Do you do it often?
No, maybe for the month I'd do it twice or once. Yeah.
Do,
Yeah.
do you want to do it more? Do
Say?
you want to do it more?
Well, since it's a bit cold, yeah, I want to, but yeah. When I do it, I tell you, I'm zoned out. I don't know what's about my foot, but I'm just zoned out and just like
Yeah.
it's care.
How
Yeah.
long do you normally sit like that?
Say?
How long do you normally sit like that?
Oh my god, it could be an hour. It could be an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it could be an hour.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's really
yeah,
good.
it could be an hour. I'm just I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm not on the phone or anything. I have this tool kit for my feet, and I just like get a shampoo or body wash, get it in there, just soak them, and then I just grab a scrub that I have and just massage my feet,
Yeah,
and then use my tools and just clean up my toes. Yeah, yeah.
that sounds nice. Is there anything else that you do, like perhaps daily or anything else that you kind of want to share with people?
Daily.
Yeah.
Aside from the usual, the required taking shower and stuff. I mean,
Aside from hygiene,
yeah. Um, self care.
or maybe just like
Does
check.
meditation count?
I guess a vacation counts, yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, no. Meditation,
Meditation. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. I don't do that as a ritual every day, but I'd occasionally just get off the phone, take it on do not disturb, turn off the Wi-Fi, and just relax and just sit with my thoughts. Yeah. I don't know if that's meditation, but just like sitting with myself and just, yeah, no technology and just relaxing. Yeah.
Mm. I think that's a powerful process just to sit and listen to yourself because you can actually learn so much about yourself just from those minutes
Yeah.
of being like disconnected to everything else and connected to
Yeah.
yourself. Do
Yeah.
you have a lot of like epiphanies or do you learn things about yourself or what kind of how do you feel afterwards?
Well, I solve a lot of problems or like just think a lot about certain things. I'm like, okay, you could have done that, or oh,
Mm,
that was good of you, or just like thinking about myself or what someone has done, or just trying to solve things. But mostly it's not anything hard. It's just like
mm,
simple thinking, just simple thinking. Um, yeah, just trying to be grateful for things and just being focused on that. Yeah,
Gratitude is a
yeah,
big
yeah,
actually because your mind will keep kind of representing you with thoughts unless you kind of resolve them and learn from them and so what
yeah,
you're doing like with meditation is actually like a form or like a really strong form of healing and self-love because you're
yeah,
learning from things that have happened to you so your mind kind of closes the file on that topic or memory or something, which is it's really good
I
feedback.
didn't think about it that way. Oh,
Because
nice.
it's like having a tab open on your computer. If you like open up a tab on Google and you search for one thing, and then you're busy with something else and you search for something else, if you don't get the answers that you're looking for on from the first tab, you're gonna keep like seeing it's gonna pop up. Maybe you'll go back there,
Ah,
click the next
yeah,
button, but
yeah,
it's never gonna be finished until you've found the answer, you've learned or resolved, or
yeah,
and then you can close the tab. Yeah. We're a lot like
yeah,
computers in a lot of ways, actually.
yeah. I like that. I like that. Thank you. Yeah.
I what I've been doing recently is waking up a little bit earlier than normal and
Mm-hmm.
just taking like a notebook next to my bed and writing my goals down and my like driving question that I have lately. And just if there's like if I feel really negative, I try to write it down and think about why or how can I resolve this, just a bit of quiet time before the craziness of the day and having like 20 little kids running around you the whole time. And there's not a lot of peace and quiet in that situation.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Next question. Is there a next question? Yes. How do you normally respond to unexpected challenges or inconvenience?
Okay, that's crazy because I was just talking to my friend yesterday. She was like, "Ah, I'm so stupid." Like, she was applying to go abroad to study, and all of her friends, like, they did the application almost seamlessly. And she was like, "Ah, don't you think sometimes you're stupid? Everyone got it right, and you're there." She had to end up paying twice as much for airfare than her friends, but because she had not been careful about something. And I'm like, yeah, we can have those things sometimes, but this is my perspective. You learn. The next time you're not gonna have that issue. You're gonna be more careful as to look at the flight details. You're gonna be more careful to book your flight a little earlier. You're gonna be more careful to budget. Like, so I've I've like, for me, when I have those challenges, it's to say that I've learned. I'm really grateful for them. I don't know, I don't want to be like this over positive person, but trust me, I'm so grateful that I've learned them now. Like, okay, I learned this now. I had this failure now. The next time this is not gonna happen. How can I improve? What did I do wrong? So the next time this is not going to happen. Yeah. So that's trust. That's how I handle it. Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
powerful. Power to you. That's a really cool way of handling
Yeah, yeah. I
challenges.
try not to dwell on it too much because what can I do? It's like, this is for me to learn, for me to develop something. Yeah,
That's great because I think as soon as you do that, you're like closing that folder in your mind already because you've already learned there's no need to feel like extra angry or frustrated or annoyed or whatever because you've already
yeah,
learned you're you've experienced some gratitude which already makes you more positive. Yeah,
yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
I hope people got that. Learn
yeah,
and be grateful. That's a really cool way of
yeah,
responding to challenges.
yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
does it help you to keep your emotions in check when you do that?
Yeah, because I've seen, like, sometimes I'd go on and on about it. Like, it's not my fault necessarily. Um, and even though I didn't know, it's kind of is my fault to know. But now that I've failed at it, or now that I didn't overcome this challenge, I now know why I didn't, or this challenge itself, how I can handle it the next time. That's a win there. Like, for me, I prefer, this is so weird, but I prefer to have, even back in high school, I didn't like to see 100 on my test papers
Right?
because I always think that there's a room for improvement. I didn't think that was always perfect. I always thought like there's room for improvement. If I saw a 90, so I'm like, yeah, okay, so next time I know how to handle this. But I just always think, okay, if I got 100, I'm like, okay, are you sure that I got full marks there? Like,
Yeah.
nah. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
So it's
really
like, yeah. Yeah.
That's a really cool like
You were saying?
road mindset perspective. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How
yeah.
about you? How do you handle them? Are you that one to be like, ah, darn it, this is
I
difficult?
get a lot more frustrated than what I would like sometimes. Um, but I have come to realize that that's because it triggers like some kind of negative belief or flaw that I think I have. Like I let me put it this way. I'm not very good at like spatial visual awareness. Like I can't look at a shape and turn it in my head and figure out how this needs to go there. Like I'm silly at a lot of practical things. Like I do
Oh,
things in my brain, like I'm good at logic and reasoning and things like that. So practical things I struggle
mhm.
with sometimes. And
Oh,
let's say, I need to do something. I'm just gonna go with like a really stupid example. I need to open this thing and I don't know how to open it. And
yeah,
I struggle, and I think what happens is when I do get frustrated, it's because it's triggering that belief that like I'm telling myself I'm not very good at this. Um, so yeah, then I try to do what you do, which is like learn from it or tell myself it's just a little event. It doesn't have an impact on my life. I can just breathe and let it go. Because when you stay calm, you can handle it better.
yeah,
But definitely, I get a lot more frustrated than what I would like sometimes.
yeah,
Mm, Yeah,
yeah,
I find that trying to put my emotions aside for a second and taking a step back and looking, is this thing so important right now? Like, is it life changing? Most of the time, the answer is no, and that perspective alone just helps me to breathe again and get my emotions in check.
good stuff,
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah,
But when you're in Beijing traffic and stuff, and the guy cuts in front of you or something, those things happen a lot here. It's really about yeah, taking perspective.
yeah, yeah,
I
you're
found
right.
what's really helpful for me if something happens where somebody else annoys me or could annoy me. I have like two choices. I see it as two choices. Number one, like let's say a guy cuts in front of you and you're riding on your bike or something. Guy cuts in front of you, you'll most likely get really upset when you think, oh, this guy's a rude guy. He just doesn't care. They're angry in such a rush. When you think badly about the person, then it's easy to get like those negative emotions going and respond really badly. But when you just breathe and think of it, oh, maybe he just made a mistake, or maybe he's in a rush, like it's just a one-time action and not who the person is, you're able to respond a lot more calmly. Even in your friend's situation, I feel like if she says, "Oh, if she's like puts it on her identity almost like I'm just
Yeah,
really
yeah,
planning stuff," then she's gonna
yeah,
feel horrible. But if you just
yeah,
kind of see it as a one-time thing,
yeah,
just
yeah,
a bad action, like you said, then you're able to deal with it a lot better, I feel.
yeah. I think so. Yeah, not taking on as a personality trait or something. Yeah,
We all make
yeah,
mistakes. I mean, when Janke and I went to Belgium on holiday last year, I spelled her
yeah.
name wrong on the flight tickets. So
Okay.
for 2 flights, her name, I switched 2 letters around and
Oh,
we didn't pick it up. And luckily, both people, like people at the security checks and customs, let us through. Really wonderful, kind people. But like you said,
um,
that's a mistake I will never, ever, ever make again. And
yeah,
making that mistake caused me to feel stressed or anxious about that part of like clearing through customs, but not about the
yeah,
other part of immigration or going through a new country, which can
yeah,
be
yeah,
scary for me. But it allowed me to focus on that name mistake instead of, like I'm going into a new country, that's scary. But I'll definitely never make that mistake again.
yeah, 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 yeah. Good stuff.
What does your perfect day look like?
Oh my God. Okay, so I almost had a perfect day the other day. So a
Do tell.
perfect day would be me waking up at five,
Yeah.
5 o'clock, just sitting, praying, meditating, and then going out to work out for a little while,
Mhm.
coming back, have breakfast. After breakfast, getting a shower, read the book that I'm currently on, then spend some time relaxing, whether it is watching one of my favorite series called Young Sheldon, and
Oh,
then and then I'd most likely work on something educational, mostly Chinese or any project that I'm currently on. Then just go out and walk with a friend or so, just checking on a friend, checking on someone, call back home or something. Uh, Rest, grab dinner, read some more, and then sleep by 11. But that would be the perfect day. I mean, that sounds so simple, but that would be the perfect day for me. Like, oh my God, that would be so awesome. So
sounds very
awesome.
peaceful.
Yeah.
Very, very peaceful. Um,
Yeah. I mean, no extra thing to it, but yeah, that would be the perfect day for me while I'm in break. Yeah, right now.
that sounds very peaceful. That is a perfect day. A lot of people overthink their perfect day, but I feel like if you just feel peaceful and happy and content in each moment, the day is
I
perfect for
mean, I'm quite simple. I mean, that sounds really simple, but that would give me so much joy at the end of the day.
you.
So much joy. You would not believe so much joy. Yeah.
You'll sleep like a
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. And then do it all again.
It's nice to
Yeah.
have time in the morning to do things. I think if we
Yeah.
had like a lot more time in the morning to kind of meditate or work out or just be with ourselves in the morning, a lot of us would be a lot more peaceful during the day. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah. I just like the stillness of the morning.
Mm,
You're not hearing the cars. I mean, by the time 7 o'clock hits, beeping outside and the Why My guys and everything. But the stillness of the early morning, it gets me. Even in Jamaica, it gets me. No one is up. I'm not hearing anyone crying. I'm not hearing any kids. I'm not hearing any mom getting their kids ready for school. It's just, oh,
yeah.
it's like I paid $1 million to get these few 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best. But I just refuse to do it sometimes because I either sleep too late or it's just too cold to get up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
And it's
not
dark
doing
as
it.
well. Right now it's really dark, so getting up early
Yeah,
is mhm,
it is. It is.
you gotta
It
find it.
is.
I must
It
say,
is.
even though I also enjoy waking up a bit earlier to do like a little bit of writing and stuff,
Yeah.
it is difficult. I don't do it every day for sure because it's dark. It's cold. Maybe you didn't sleep so well the previous night. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
things get in the way.
Do you have this thought in your head? I don't know. Do you have this thought like when it gets tough? I don't know if you're working on something or you wanted to get at something that you don't normally do. Do you ever get the thought that why am I doing this? What am I trying to prove? Like everyone does the 8 o'clock, 7:30, but why do I force myself to be the 5 o'clock person, to be
Mm.
the one to write my thoughts, to be the one to work out? Is that something I really want to know that question? Are you like saying when this it gets really hard, do you ask yourself like, what am I trying to prove? What am I trying to prove?
That's a great question. Skip? Skip it? No, I'm joking. Um,
No.
I haven't actually done something so uncomfortable in a while that I
Mhm.
asked myself that question. Um, there was a time right after I read the 5 a.m. Club book where I was like, yeah, wake up early, exercise. And after a while, I did ask myself that question. um, but I would say no, actually. I don't generally choose to do things that are tough. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm fortunate and I'm in a position where I don't have to, or whether
Okay.
it's because of my own doing that I don't get put into those situations. But generally, let's say, like when I was training for hockey, there were a lot of times where your coach makes you do things where I'm like, oh, why do I have to do this? So I ask that question a lot when I have to do tough things that other people ask me or maybe
Yeah.
to, people in positions of authority, but I don't generally ask it
Yeah.
about myself.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
How about you? Do you ask yourself?
Yeah, I do. I do ask myself, what am I proving? Why am I doing this? Everyone else is waking up at 7 and 8 and 12. Why do I have to be? Because I confessed this to some friends and they were like, what? Why are you waking up so early? You could read at 12. You could work out at 7. Like, and then I'm like, yeah, I could. But after some time, I realized it didn't compare to when I woke up earlier. There's this completely changed my entire day, my feeling, my mood, everything.
Yeah.
But they convinced me after a while when it started to get really hard. And so I gave in. Gave in at some point. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but did it feel better for you to wake up later or not do tough things?
No, I when I do wake up late, I just feel so horrible. It just ruins my day. It ruins my day. Yeah. So getting up early is just the thing for the start of my day. If I do get up early, oh, lovely,
Um,
lovely. I just know I'm set up for a great day.
it's almost like waking up early is the natural thing to do. I don't think we were made to wake up at midday, especially not midday, but I don't think we were made to wake up like after 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. I enjoy waking up early. Not too early. My wife would disagree that it's too early. But I enjoy waking up like even on a holiday, 8 a.m. It's like I'd like to be awake by then. Because I
Yeah,
think you're wasting time in a way. Unless you're
yeah,
really tired or you've just like done a bunch of days of really hard work and you need an extra
yeah,
bit of rest, you just
yeah, yeah. I get that.
lie in bed and just kind of snooze through the day. But most of the time, I enjoy waking up early as well. It feels more natural. You have way more time to do things.
Yeah,
Like when you wake
yeah,
up late, it's almost lunchtime. You've like
yeah.
barely had time to do
Half
breakfast.
of the day.
It's almost lunchtime, and I'm like, what? Yeah.
I want to ask, what is your most productive hour? Like, it seems like it's the morning for you when you do your writing. Like, your mind is just like thinking a lot of things and you're just free. I think you've mentioned it. It's the morning for you,
Yeah,
your most
definitely the morning.
productive time.
It's interesting because I think the morning is most productive for me. However, I've been in a lot of situations where I've had to be productive at night. Like right now, I mean, I teach full time during the day. So like
Hmm.
building a coaching business, making PowerPoint games, like writing a book, even having these conversations, like we're doing this at night. So
Yeah.
I I'm not going to put myself in a position, which actually comes back to your earlier question. I'm not going to put myself in a position to wake up every day at 4 a.m. so I can do things before the real day starts, just because I'm more.
Okay.
I still have the energy to do things like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. I don't
Okay.
because I value sleep.
Hmm.
I think in an ideal life, in an ideal world, I'd love to do things like have the morning to be productive and do what I've got to do.
Okay.
I don't want to be
Okay.
responding to messages or doing other things in the morning when I could actually just be like really focused and productive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I
and
get that.
hockey, I mean, like playing hockey at university, training's at night. So I have to
Ooh,
be productive, yeah, because everyone's studying
yeah,
during the day. It's tough to find a time that suits everyone. So training's at night, like 6 to 8 p.m. or 7 to 9 p.m. And I'm not gonna not play hockey at university because it's nighttime.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, again, it's a choice.
yeah.
You like we had an outside coach come help us one time for hockey, and we were having a really bad practice, and this guy's like, "What are you doing? You're university students. It's nighttime. You could be partying. You could be like going out with girls and doing all kinds of stuff, but you chose to be here playing hockey. Like, why are you wasting your time?" And that, like,
Ah,
dude, you're making a lot of
yeah,
sense right now, but stop shouting at
yeah,
me. But it made
yeah.
sense. Like, you have a choice, and I feel that I've become pretty good at choosing and telling myself I will be productive now. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Um,
Okay, okay,
and doing
nice.
things you like doesn't always drain your energy. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like if I'm doing what I want to do after work, I'm still not like I don't feel tired.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You got energy to do it because it's something that you love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
We don't have a lot of time left, which could be cute.
Really?
Technically, we can go as long as we want, but I think I'm trying to keep it under like an hour and a half, and we've been going for
Okay,
over an hour. Let me quickly, I'm going to do a sneak peek what the next question is. Otherwise,
okay.
I'll take it back and we can kind of close it off because there's still like a bit of opportunity to talk then.
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah. No. So we are kind of at the end of the coachee section. Did you enjoy like the kind of coaching style
I
question?
did. I did. It's really nice. I recommend you continuing this part. I like it. I like
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, it gets me to think a lot. Yeah.
That's really
You see
inspiring.
that you put in a lot of work into this.
I have, yeah. It's kind of a
Yeah.
blend between what I love doing most, which is making PowerPoint games, just coaching and helping and connecting with people, and yeah, playing. I love playing games. Um, okay. Do we have? We can do one or two questions from another category before we close off. Which one would you like?
Okay.
Top left or bottom middle?
The middle.
Yeah. Oh. Um, so this category is called That's a Tough One. The idea is that you see the question and your first thought immediately is, that's a tough one. Yeah. The
Okay.
other question, the other category is like fun personal questions. So like
Okay.
there are no rules in this game. If you want to do the other category instead, we can totally go back to that one.
Uh, let's do that's a tough one.
Okay. All right. First question. Ooh, what does success look like for you?
Oh my god, that's really a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hey, I did
god.
it! I got the reaction. Woohoo! That's what success looks like for me when you say that's a tough one.
Oh my god. Oh, what does success look like for me?
Like, how do you define success, or how would you
Okay, so
you're successful?
someone being successful is basically achieving what they've set out to achieve. So if someone says, so we're in a 100-meter race, right?
Yeah.
Um, and your aim is to get at 11.9 and you've gotten to 11.6, but you came fourth. You've been successful.
Mm,
You've been successful. You've achieved your aim and you've achieved it well. You've gotten to 11.6,
yeah.
but you did not. So people look at you be like, ah, he failed. He didn't even make the podium. He came fourth.
Mm,
Like, no, I was successful. That was my aim for this season to get below 11.9. And so whatever, so for me, as I said, success is reaching your goals. Whatever you've set out to do, you've done it. And so sometimes I use that as an analogy because sometimes people look at you like, he didn't make the podium. He didn't even get a medal. He didn't get to that job in New York. Or I'm like, no, this is what I wanted to do. This was my goal for this time. And I got it. And I am successful. So, yeah,
I love
that's
that.
my definition.
That's
Yeah.
that's a perfect definition.
Yeah.
Because people are different, you know. We don't all want the same thing, and thank goodness for that. Imagine if
Yeah.
we're all like vying for jobs in New York or trying to be the best 100-meter sprinter and go down. Well, I would say that's even a form of self-love because you're not holding yourself to anybody else's standards besides your own, which
Yeah.
means yeah, which means you're not comparing yourself that much to others. You're comparing
Yeah.
yourself to
Yeah.
yourself, and it leads
Yeah.
to a lot less kind of disappointment and negative qualities, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though that was a
Yeah.
tough one, I think you answered that pretty well. Yeah, smash answer.
Yeah. It's a
Uh,
fun.
let's do one more quickly before we
Okay.
close off. Yeah. Ooh, this one's nice. What brings you great
Hmm.
joy and fulfillment?
What brings me great joy and fulfillment? Uh, that's quite simple for me. Just having my family in good health and um, them being happy for the most part. That makes me just feel contented. That makes me feel joy. Um, yeah, yeah. I won't. Yeah, yeah. That's basically it. I know them being genuinely happy, them progressing, and we're all doing this collectively to improve ourselves. It's an entire family that gives me a lot of joy and fulfillment. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you're a very strong, like family-orientated person.
Yeah, I love those guys.
You love
I
those
love.
guys.
I
Perfect.
do.
It is
I do.
nice. It's nice when, like for me, when my mom is happy or my dad is happy or my brother is happy.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
really sucky when they're not. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, like your parents raise you, your brothers and your sisters, you grew up with
Yeah.
them. You want them to be
Yeah.
happy. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You love those guys. I like that answer. That's pretty simple. Okay, let me see if I can find. Yes. Okay. We're gonna do like the last few questions just to kind of close off.
Great.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I think I've made a little
Oh,
move.
personal.
Here it is.
Personal was that
It was. I think I forgot to change this little headline.
title?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. Please don't get angry at me.
No, you've been doing good.
Yeah. So before you go, what's been on your mind lately? Anything you want to share?
What's been on my mind?
Mm.
Well, I don't mean to. I mean, we're getting to the end, and this is like getting to a climax here with this. But what's been on my mind is that I'm wondering, can I really be successful?
Mm.
That's been on my mind.
Right. We're gonna be talking for another hour then.
We don't need to. We don't need to.
When do
Yeah.
you when do you think that? Like
I
what?
think about that a lot. It's not just lately, but yeah. Because I was, as I told you, started job applications and yeah, writing my CV and cover letters. I'm like, wow, this thing is getting real. Uh, yeah, and just having your faith just in people's hands, be like, I want her, I don't want her, things like that. Just like, can I really get there? Can I really get there? So that's been on my mind these days.
Mm. You're doing something
Yep.
you've never done before, right? It's like the fear of the unknown almost.
Yep. Yep.
What do you do after you've asked yourself that question? Like you just thought, can I really be successful? Or what happens next in your mind?
Well, I try to console myself to say I have improved a lot.
Mm,
I look at it before when I asked that question, I was not doing anything towards being successful. For example, um, there's this exam that you have to take for Chinese speakers, international. Um, so those who are learning Chinese, you take this exam to measure your proficiency. And I didn't take that exam for a while until I finally took it in October. And before that, I was asking myself that question. But then it became dreary because I knew there were steps that I could feel as if I was getting there. And that was one. And so so these days when I ask myself that question, I'm like, okay, you've done things that are getting you there. Don't do that. Just you've done things and you will continue to do things that are getting you to that measure of success.
mm.
So yeah. So I try to console myself to say, okay, you've done things toward success. So yeah, don't be down on yourself too much.
That's a great response. Because I think it's
Yeah.
okay to have those kinds of doubts and fears come up sometimes.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you choose to respond to them.
Yeah.
And and
Yeah.
people forget how far they've come. Like we've all achieved a lot throughout the years, throughout our lives, but it's easy to forget what we've actually achieved. That's a really
Yep.
cool thing.
Yep. Yep.
If I may, a suggestion for you could be to kind of
Yeah. Sure.
change the question when it comes up. What I like to do is I like to change it to a way that I can experience and have even more. So we could change it to something like, how can I create even more and more success than what I have in my life right now? Or how can I be even more
Wow.
successful than I've been in my life now?
That's good stuff.
That
I'm just going
question
to write
changed.
it down.
Yeah, the question changed. It's been a game changer for me as well because it acknowledges that you've already been successful, but you're still seeking more. I mean, it's in our nature to have more and be more and grow more. So
Yeah.
that might help. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Promise,
Thanks
I'm
for
not
that.
coaching. I'm done. I want to help myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andre. I enjoy this. I could go on and on with this. I'm sorry.
Ah, I mean, me
This
too.
is
Me
good.
too.
Yeah, this is
Which is
good.
why in the last episode we only got to 0 questions. Um, yeah, that's been one of my favorite parts about doing this. At the beginning, like I've got over 15 questions here, but really
Yeah.
we don't even need half of them. We could speak about any of the questions for a really long time. That's
Yeah.
been like a really surprising thing that I found while playing this game is actually we've all got a lot to speak about. We just kind of
Yeah.
try to speak about the right things, like meaningful things, you know. Then we could speak for ages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is there any book or podcast or movie or series or anything like anything that you'd like to recommend people to try or do or watch or see or be anything?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Uh, well, if you want to just chill like me sometimes, I'd recommend you to watch Young Sheldon. But if you want to take on a more serious path in your early mornings, two podcasts I'd recommend is The Diary of a CEO.
No.
Yeah, by Marcus Bartlett, and then I'd also recommend a book, not well, his book, 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. I'd recommend that, highly recommend that book. Yeah, 12 Rules of Life. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
I think if there's one person, like I just have a lot to speak to, it would be Jordan Peterson. That man, I've like when I first heard him speak, The way he speaks is incredible. It's like so much
Yeah,
power.
he's a thinker. He's a thinker. He's amazing.
A young Sheldon,
Amazing.
diary of a CEO.
Young,
Love that.
yeah,
And all the rules
yeah,
for yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
I hope
Amazing,
this switching
amazing.
back and forth doesn't mess too much with the video. I'm trying something new. All right, I'm curious. Did you learn anything new about yourself this game? And would you mind sharing?
Yeah, sure. Um, yeah, especially took away when I shared about how I struggle with consistency. Uh, you've made a point to have me to write down some of the things that the thing that I want to achieve and some of the steps that I can um, get to achieve them. So some of the useful things that I can do to achieve them and make note of the simple things that are there, the easy simple things. Start to work on that and then make a note also of those things that are more effective. As you said, like reading one page, yes, that's progress, but in the that's progress in the long run, but I really want to get to the entire book. So I find a more effective way of getting through to the textbook. Just getting at it, opening the book is a start to doing things, just to break down and not be overwhelmed by everything. So I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love for everybody who's listening to take note of what you said as well. It just get
Yeah.
started, like choose something, make it small and get started. Like you've said, it really helps to follow through and eventually do the whole task that you wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Oh, I love this question. Who would you like to invite to play this game? If you
Ooh.
can't think of anybody now, feel free to tell me later. Yeah, but I'd be happy to have them on.
Ooh. Uh, I can't think of the. I have a couple people in mind, but I'd probably tell you off here. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, oh, if you made this game, what questions would you have asked, or how would you improve on it, or make it different?
Mm. I mean, I won't. I'm not like feathering you up now, but I mean, it's the questions here are just wholesome and comprehensive. I just can't think of anything that you need to add here.
Thank you.
Truthfully,
You
I
did
can't
flatter
think
me.
of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's good aesthetically. The questions are deep and some are just light, like lightning questions. I like those to start us off. It's
Yeah,
pretty good, Andre. It's
we
pretty good.
skipped a lot of the lighter questions actually, but I'm glad you still feel it's balanced.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Yeah. I want to say thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. This has been um not just fun for me, but a lot. I had to think about a lot of things and put a lot of things into perspective. I learned some practical skills as to how to improve my life, and I think you're a pretty decent person in this regard to offer advice. This I'm looking forward to reading your book. I can't wait. So that's the motivation for me to finish the one that I'm on now. um yeah, yeah, so yeah, I wish you all the best with this new venture, and I hope that all goes well with it.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
so much. It's been a pleasure having you as well. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
like every single question and just hearing your
yeah,
response. I love your
yeah,
approach to life. It seems like really simple, but you know yourself, and it seems like you know what you
yeah,
want and what you need. And I really
yeah,
love that, and I admire that about you.
yeah.
Your approach is
Thank
simple,
you.
it's effective, it works for you, and
Yeah,
you hold yourself to your own standards. You know, you don't hold yourself to other people's standards, which yeah, it's really
yeah,
admirable. Thank you
yeah,
for like coming onto this podcast game. I don't even know
yeah,
what to call it yet. It's been like an absolute pleasure, and yeah, we can have a round two someday because there are a lot of
yeah.
questions still need
I
answers.
look forward to that. Yeah,
Thanks
thank
so
you,
much.
Andre.